In my career, I've coached some of the top Apex Predators like Jay Savage, Gentrifying, and Deeds. And in today's video, we're going to review the game that got Deeds the title of #1 Apex Predator.
I'm doing fingers. Someone do the spiders type shit.
Okay, so they're talking about exactly where they're going to loot. They're going to send Swift to the far left to potentially do the spiders or the prowlers or what have you. And they're going to go for the fingers on the right over here. And what they were concerned about was the top of Devastated here being like a problem. They were concerned about Devastated top part here being an issue. So because of that, Rogue is like, do I take the fingers? Do I not take the fingers? He ends up taking the fingers because there's no team up there. So now we have Deeds, which is going to loot the building area. We have Swift, which is going to loot the tree line area and the hill on the left where the spiders and the prowlers are. And we're going to have Rogue loot all the fingers. So as we can see now, we have the Evo Harvey right next to Swift. We have another Evo Harvey towards the top of Devastated. We have what is a scan beacon inside of the pad on top. We also have a scan beacon on the top of Devastated and a scan beacon on the bottom of Stormcatcher close to Swift on his left side. So the big thing is we have all these scans now. We can figure out exactly where everybody else is in the lobby that are close to us. We're also going to have our armor advantage. We're going to be able to have attachments and whatnot from the prowlers. We're going to be able to do a lot here. Care packages are going to start coming down. So the big thing is early on, they're not even really fighting. They're actually getting looted up. They're getting juiced. They're having everything they want. But they are being on their tippy toes. They are paying attention to what other teams around them are doing. They're all looking for opportunities based upon that too. And the scans, why Pathfinder is really good here, the scans give us a lot of leverage on that. Pathfinder is fantastic when it comes down to getting information. And he's also fantastic when it comes down to closing the gap. And or getting out of a sticky situation.
So do you want to wait for your Hemlock? That's free purple armor. We could go to him, actually.
Alright, we'll go to him.
So instead of opting to fight Pylon, like their initial comm here, they're deciding to go for this gun right here, right? Swift doesn't have really good guns. He needs another gun. So that'll help him, right, if he's really looking for it. But the other thing is, too, that there's an Evo cache inside of this. Our goal is to get Pathfinder to purple as quickly as possible because that energized zip makes a very big difference when we're going on top of teams, closing gaps, getting out of sticky situations, just like I talked about a little earlier.
I don't. I mean, I can take the 2x, but you hold that.
Is boosted,
Can you hold that shotty?
We need to work this way. You guys need to come this way. Not...
Deeds here is like, hey, let's group. We're going here. We're doing this. Somebody just be the voice of, hey, we need to be here. We need to be together. Because a lot of the time when somebody gets separated, it becomes a problem, especially towards, you know, like the earlier stages of the game once we're coming out of the POI, and or in the middle of the game when we're having to rotate from spot to spot. And so now we see the scan in Pylon. Pylon, as we know right now, only has 2 individuals inside of it, but we do know that there was a res there prior. So we're going off of what is 2 scans right now in terms of information. He's about to grab this brick, so that's going to get him purple. And then we're going to look for KP essentially from this point on. But we know for a fact that a lot of this area towards us right now is clear. And one key thing to know out of everything here right now, look at the top right of the screen. It's pretty much what is Zone 1 closing, and there's only 13 teams alive. The problem is a lot of teams contest. A lot of them contest. A lot of them third-party each other in stupid ways that they don't need to. But yet, we see our #1 Pred over here hasn't had any damage yet, hasn't gotten a KP yet, but he's going to end up winning this game. So, the big thing is, people fight too early sometimes, more than they actually need to. And it causes them to die way earlier on so they can't even get to an endgame. If you have a lot of loot, and you get to an endgame, you're going to be in a good situation. Not to say that means you should play in the zone or anything by that, but definitely means that you should be aiming to get your end game going, because if you have the loot, you have the end game, you're going to get the kills anyways. But if you're involving yourself in a bunch of mess and you're not even going to get there in the first place, you're going to lose RP. So they're playing a bit, I would say, safer than a normal team, because at the end of the day, they're aiming for the RP right now. They're aiming very heavily for this RP. Got the juice, the little Evo cache. we have
Aaron.
the zipline
Said this
electrified.
way.
So electrified zipline, good perk. Recon scan, good perk. We don't really care about the console. We want to know where people are. So this is a really good set of perks. We know where everybody is. We have an electrified zip and we want to get in and out. Perfect perks. Good to go there. We have Pathfinder in purple. We have the other two in blue. Got a blue mag. Purple mag on our Nemesis. So we're looking great. 12 teams are live now.
I'm gonna evac so I can catch up with you.
We're gonna come your way. You wanna show?
We're gonna go fight on or what? Or you want to
Yeah.
over there
I'm
at
gonna
least?
go fight Pylon. They're there.
Okay, talking about an engagement, seeing what we want to do with it.
Got an airdrop inbound for you, Rogue, right above you.
So we're talking about drops, of course. Scan those as we're going. Got an Evo Harvester
have a lot of
inside of the
bats
choke,
of
so we can get our team
too.
closer to purple.
I can give you mine.
Talking about our loot along the way, making sure that we have bats and things like that to reset in case this fight gets a little crazy. Walking up with weapon, just listening, right? It's kind of what they're doing right now. Really
That's a
listening,
res.
really
right?
looking
At
around,
Dev, or am I fucking
being aware.
You're not. That is. It's
They
at.
just took the cannon here too.
And so even Deeds is like, did I actually hear that? Like, am I being schizo right now? I always say it's better to be schizo and paranoid and think you heard something, right? Or think you saw something, and put more hyper focus and attention on it and ask your teammates about it rather than just avoid it or think that it's, something that's unrealistic.
It's that echo. Was it echo res or was it kind of just
It
between?
did sound like
or-
Echo. It did sound
Echo
like
res is gone. And there is a team Pylon right in front of you, Rogue, on the height.
You're-
Who are they
you're
shooting
looking
at
at
now?
us?
No.
I mean, there's a team right
Wait,
next
why
to
you
him.
shoot?
That's
Oh,
not good.
Swift, Jesus Christ. Let them fucking fight.
And so we've kind of engaged a little bit here.
Pylon right in front of you, Rogue, on the height.
Just a
Who are
tad.
they
Are they
shooting
looking
at
at
now?
us?
No.
I mean, there's.
So he's shooting the top height there. And the problem is when we do this, we're creating an awareness to the other teams, potentially, that we are near and we are there. By doing that, we might end up canceling out them fighting. When you make presence too much so at all, if any, when two teams are fighting and you're not letting them basically get knocked, you're not letting them trade, you're not letting them do these things, you're not going to get your KP potentially off of a third party because they're going to disengage and they're going to run. People ask me all the time, well, what do I do if a team just runs away from me? Well, if the team's running away from you and you were going towards them fighting, then that means that you've given them too much awareness that you're there. If they didn't know you're there, then it's easier to third party them, right?
There's a team right
Wait,
next
why
to
you
him.
shoot?
That's not
Oh,
good.
Swift, Jesus Christ. Let them fucking fight.
My fault. I thought someone else was shooting at him.
And so why Deeds is
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, he's like, oh, well, we
The-
need the
Ready,
KP
go,
at this
team.
point,
Come on.
right? That'd be nice.
Yep.
Okay, here we go, charge zip.
Echo team might be behind us eventually.
Why are we doing this? Is there a team up here still?
Yep.
Yeah, they're fighting each other.
And so just making sure they're on the same page. Rogue is like, is there a team up here still? Is that what we're going for? It's like, yeah, that's what we're going for, right? But they're all together, going on the zip, being aware, being on the same page. But Deeds again there was like, brother, we gotta let them kind of simmer a little bit because we need the KP.
It's okay. On this thing right here.
Brittany.
Grenading? Yeah.
And so now we know that, there's one team height here. There's got to be another team on the bottom. But this team on height now is completely focused on us. And there's not going to really be much done about this.
Yep.
We come back. This doesn't look good.
Okay. I mean, we could fight the Echo team. I'm pretty
Yeah,
Hit
sure.
this beacon. Hit this beacon.
Can I?
And so now look at it, right? We have one team up here on the top, pretty much. One team is abandoned on low ground. So we now see, using the map here, what's going on. Two teams by us on the left side, inside a pylon. And then we have one team coming up from the Echo side. So what they want to do is they're looking to take the 3v3 on the Echo side. The issue is they still might actually get mirrored from one of these pylon teams that are looking to do something, because sometimes what these teams are going to do, despite being mirrored themselves potentially, is they might find an opportunity. So a lot of things could happen. Let's say we go over here, right? These team goes over here. They get mirrored behind trying to fight the Echo team, right? Let's say that happens. Then that means potentially the other team in Pylon can mirror the other team that just went to Deed's team.
Why still power?
Good. Yeah, they're gonna be right here. They're gonna be on our hill.
See them on scan. Grabbing a couple of
They're
grenades.
But that's another team. That's
Grappling
another
for height. Looking for the angle.
Purple armor.
Okay, I'm walking up
Red
on the
one, Ash.
left. Yeah, I'm walking up on the left. Just look over me.
Ash shit on.
Yeah.
Ash is like left right here by the castle.
They don't know I'm
Castle's
here.
cracked.
Yeah.
And so they don't really know anything about Swift being there simply because like they don't have any information that he's there. They just know that they're getting shot from the top of the building. So they're all looking at Swift. You know, our teammates are looking at Swift, Rogue and Deeds are looking at Swift. They're going to make sure that he doesn't get swung on for free. With Swift right there, he can always ball forward to stop them from running at him. He can shoot them with his teammates. He has a lot of options of what to do. But he's trying to walk up from a silent angle here, essentially, to get a pick. And that's what his job is, especially when he's playing Maggie.
Selling once.
Burning on me. What the fuck?
No, I think are they? Yeah, technically. 60 on here.
If you're going
Oh,
for
banger,
nades.
These guys are
banger,
real.
banger, banger.
So really good vert nades there, right? And at the end of the day, when it boils down to what we have to do here now, we essentially have a lot of damage. We want to push off of it. Swift has to pop a battery still, though, so we have to pay attention to that. So Swift's popping a battery. We got to pace ourselves just a tad, make sure that we don't swing into 3 people. So watch how Deeds does this.
I got a bat. I'm batting.
So he's going
Walking
far
up to
right,
Deeds.
and he's still looking for angles,
There
right? He's looking to get space, but he's still being careful about how he's getting that space. Now that they're moving back, he's going forward, but now he knows they're moving back. By going to the right side, he's making sure that they're doing that, and he's not just running straight at them. A lot of players will just run straight at these guys and essentially grapple into 1 or 2 of them, maybe 3, and then just die. No. Even though with the damage that he had, he's still looking for angles. He's still playing it slightly safe.
One of them grapple back.
Find us, where we came. I gotta throw a halo here.
So now we know that we're going to get mirrored from behind because we started getting shot in our back. Rogue calls that he throws down his ult and that we need to get out of this, essentially.
Trying to play safe and go southeast.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
walking up on us.
Do you have zip again?
Yeah, zip, zip, zip,
Yeah,
zip,
take
zip.
it, take it.
So this being a charge zip is fantastic because no matter who gets shot on this, they're going to be okay.
I'm batting right here.
We're still technically in the early game, I would say. We're not quite in the middle of the game yet. As much as there are 10 teams and, you know, basically round 2, I would consider it more later that we're going to get to the middle game. But right now, we're going to go for this scan. We're going to look for more information. Consistently, they're scanning, they're getting their loot, they're taking smart engagements. They sometimes make the mistake of, like, kind of giving away what they're doing, you know, in terms of thirding a team. And that kind of costs that whole situation a bit there. But nonetheless, we're still alive, we're still thriving. A little bit of damage now, still no KP. 10 teams left. Here. And so what we see on scan here, we see these 2 teams, right? We see one on the top buildings, we see one on the bottom right side by the rocks and by the prowlers.
We'll go back pylon side.
And so this is what prompts Rogue to say, hey, let's go pylon side, right? Because our scan hits part of pylon, we don't see anything there. Definitely means we could take our zipline back, get high control, and rotate from there. Might even be able to hit the Jurassic Beacon as well while we're at it, right? It's only zone 2. Sure, it hurts a little bit, but we got Lifeline. We have plenty of heals that we can definitely work with and figure out how to work with when we are playing Lifeline. So at the end of the day, that is why they choose that rotate over going to the right. They go to the right, they're going into congestion. It's going to be bad for them. Going to the left, get information, get some heals, work it out from there. If there's any teams on that side, it's probably going to be an isolated team that we can fight. Because those 2 teams back there, if you're really thinking about it, that's probably the team that mirrored them and the team that was running away from them. And they're on that side. And so right here, given that Rogue is throwing down Doc, Rogue should basically be throwing it onto Deeds as well. And Deeds should also be asking for it, though. Kind of a 2-way street here. Before
Right,
Doc
I do.
expires,
Yeah.
because before Doc expires, you're going to be able to throw it onto somebody else. So at the end of the day, that's what's kind of important about that. Okay, teams on the right and teams on the left. So we make sure at this particular point that we can create a rotate off of this. But what's going to be interesting is this team, these teams on the right. These teams on the right, they're going to have to fight. They're in very close proximity to each other.
Careful. Unless if we could clean wipe this, we go. But if we can't, then. Or you haven't
Just
gone.
look. Yeah.
Gonna take
Jerome?
kills up here. This Cascade team's probably about to scan us. They're not fighting on the right anymore. Yeah, they are.
This building.
I have zipline.
Take it. Let's do it.
Which building?
The one ping.
Far building. One of them grappled out. They're inting him. I'm taking his zipper.
So we're closing the gap with the zip line. We know this team has been fighting. They're inting each other. They're on top of each other. Now these two teams, they probably don't expect to get thirded at all, because who's still going to be in the zone at that point, right? There's only 8 teams alive. Like, hey, like who's really going to be in the zone all the way that far back, jumping on our head right now?
Pretty sure they knocked 2, so it's a full 3-man. 1 guy. In the river?
Yes, river.
Knock him, knock him, knock
Yeah,
him.
and it,
Nading.
walking up on it. I'm just gonna ball there.
Might be in the thing on me.
Yeah,
In the halo here.
yeah.
I hit him. Give him more
And
heater.
so this is a tough game for
Yeah.
these guys because
I have more.
zone is so far, right? Zone is so far, and the big issue why this becomes the way that it is in part is because we gave Pylon too much of a heads up. You know, that's on Swift, but we are in that situation partly because of that in terms of the rotation. But we're still adapting to the situation and working with what we have, which was what the best players in the world are going to be and what they're going to do. They're going to adapt.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this beacon and we just go
There
out.
might be a team waiting for us. Be careful.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, KP right there. Almost had it already.
Get a little lick.
Get this beacon before we go up. Deadass.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And you can just hear that in Rogue's voice. He's like legitimately like, please, like, please. He's just very much on like the end of, if we don't hit this, I'm going to like
Oh, take it quick.
turn myself off a bridging game. Okay, so we see now that there's a fight happening top of the right side of command, so they're gonna get some KP potentially here on top of that as well. It looks like they're kind of chasing a solo, and there's a team to the left basically in Cascade side. So we're gonna see if we can what we can do off of them chasing the solo.
I'm taking rogues.
They're chasing a rat.
Okay.
Out here. Cracked one. Nice.
And so they chase the rat, and you know, Rogue and Swift are on the building, and Deeds is on the far right. So everybody's got an angle. Zone's, you know, in the middle of doing its closing stage here, coming here, and we want to be able to secure the rest of this KP, loot, and then rotate once again.
Okay.
Closing.
Right out here.
Queuing it,
Can you do that?
Yep, queuing it. Yep.
Taking our height. Taking our height.
Got the renug.
And so we see now we have a knock on a Pathfinder off of the Maggie drill on Newcastle shield. Then Ash is on this team as well with Newcastle. So Ash and Newcastle TP onto the height, so that way they can maybe try to fight Rogue and Swift, and or have some height control and then reset. But regardless, this team is in a very shitty situation because there's already damage dealt to them, and regardless of them taking Hydra and whatnot, as long as we play it right, it's going to be still really tough for them.
Two above us.
Yeah, I'm burnating it.
You took the height too?
I'm
Yeah.
up there.
And so a small thing here, Deeds should probably have kept this massive out when taking this up so that we could get a quick pump or two before dropping. But either way, him going up here is still risky, but he is honestly drawing aggression from this team, and that allows his teammates to actually do something off it. But you see, he understands that that becomes the case at some point, and he's playing his life really well. But what you also see is that Swift has thrown up a couple of vertical grenades once the TP landed up there. So in essence, by throwing these grenades, he actually ends up hitting and knocking the Newcastle, which was very good, but he did it before the wall even went down. Vertical grenades on top of a roof, fantastic.
One of them. Got another.
Nice.
I don't grapple.
Climbing up.
Only Ash.
Nice.
Nice. Too dumb.
He's on my grenades though. Do you have any more?
We have
So
to go
they're
that
looking
now.
for nades and they're looking for stuff,
Got an
right?
evac.
And Swift notices, hey, we got the evac, I got an evac. Let's go ahead and use that. Right? Rotation to zone is going to be really tough right now. So they're using evac right away after wiping this. Quick reaction, quick looting. We're not waiting a year. We're not even using a zipline here. We are taking an evac and we are getting out of this zone right now, okay? But we got, you know, 2, 1, and 3. We got 2 skulls, we got 2 handshakes, and we got 3, you know, team KP, if you will. So 5 squads left, and we're 67 up right now.
Might be
Oh,
rats inside.
Anyone, yeah. It's clear.
There's a havoc.
Go, come back.
Oh yeah, I'm haloing. Just stabilize.
I almost
Play the
killed it
shield,
while I
play
was
the
dropping on
shield,
window.
play the shield.
I'm dropping on window.
Okay, so basically, once they get on top of the roof and they start getting poked at, Rogue, boom, throws his ult down. Because we can heal quickly in the ult, it'll also shield us from any incoming fire, any incoming grenades, or whatever we can. And the fact that he actually did that saves them a lot there, because this team has a Maggie. So when they went up, they tried to throw the Maggie ball alongside this Maggie drill here. The Maggie drill will take some effect, but the ball was completely blocked. So by the ball not hitting them here, and by this ult being up, it allows Deeds to pop this battery. It allows them to be safe. Very, very good in terms of reacting to this.
Almost killed her, but she's one shot. One shot.
Are we on roof? Are we on roof anymore?
I can come roof. I can come roof.
I killed her.
And so, mind you, Deeds is Pathfinder, so he has the ability to come back up at any particular point. And Swift is outside, kind of here, looking to get picks and whatnot too, doing their job sort of as an aggressor. But if you notice, something interesting here.
Just stabilize.
I almost killed her, but I'm
play
dropping
the
on
shield,
window.
play the
I'm dropping on window. Almost.
So, Lobo goes inside. Swift drops on the window, actually, on this left side of the building, left of Deeds. Behind him, he drops on a window angle there, after hitting the Loba that was trying to come out of the doorway. So, good angle right there is those windows, because if anybody's sitting on top, if anybody's inside close to the door, those windows allow for a very quick, easy kill. That's why the team below here, in order for the team below here to react to this at all, they actually need to play at the staircase. Playing on the bottom staircase, after their failed attempt to try to take high ground, is their only way of essentially stalling out and trying to, in the best way possible, kill, Deeds' team here.
Correct. No.
Bro, you actually called that shit. What the fuck? You get your ult back.
Calling out
that's all
information,
three
seeing where all the
teams.
teams are. Now we have the definite scan. So one team left, that was the team that was on the zip line. One team in the top building or right side. And team resing is far right at the start of command.
You can zip to the left.
We're going with Deeds, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit behind.
We play this like, what, is this tree safe? The typical tree spot? We fight for the tree spot kind of thing?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
And so there is an end zone that, if you play on that tree, essentially you're in a good situation, a good position, a good way to fight everything. That's what they're talking about, potentially playing. But they're going to look for a better opportunity at the same time, too. So they know what their backup option is and what their default would be. But they're also going to look for any other opportunity if they can get it as well.
Unless you guys have a fucking Raber or the other team ends somewhere.
Right here, can we 3, 2, 1 this guy?
See you guys.
Wait.
3, 2,
2, 1.
1.
Oh my god.
Okay, so they get a set of damage on that mag or that lifeline, particularly that player. And from that particular point now, they immediately go for, a zip. Because they want to capitalize off that damage. That guy's about, 5 HP or whatnot. So we're going to work off of that and try to kill that team. Because what we know is that the team on the right, far right, is going to have to fight the team on the building because they're both on the right side. The risk that we may have here is we might get shot in our back by the team that's on top of the height, the ultimate height on the right side, because we're going to be facing towards them while we're fighting on this building. So that's the only issue.
God.
Yeah, he is very
We
low.
can zip on the roof.
Yeah, that's good.
No, he's not
Is
up
it
there.
hitting?
No.
Okay. Take it. Nice.
They just have the fucking craziest guns. You gotta go.
And so, Deeds takes a bunch of that brunt of that damage there, right? Nobody else really takes as much of a brunt as he does because he's the first one on the zip, and he pretty much gets rezzed immediately, off of that on the roof. And Swift does a really good job here because he's going to end up fighting the person on the stairs, but the way he does it is he throws his ball there.
Go crazy. Go on Swift.
Killed one.
So Swift throws his ball, and he trades one with him.
Killed one.
Let's
I'm
go
1
up, keep
HP.
going.
1 HP. Batting.
Get the roof.
On you, 1.
On me.
And so Swift can't really do much there, right? He gets out the door because he thinks it's going to get inted, essentially. There's a big issue there. He thinks it's going to get inted by the Pathfinder. Pathfinder decides to grapple up instead. So Swift dies here because he gets off the door because he thinks the Pathfinder's going to int him. In reality, the Maggie ends up being the one to int him. However, right, given how that worked out, the trade is what matters. If you're going to play like this, either do a shit ton of damage or trade somebody. Ideally, trade somebody when you can. And that's exactly what Swift did. He did his job really well here. So now that Deeds is rezzed, and he's dropping down to avoid getting killed by that Pathfinder, he sees the Maggie right in front of him. His job is, to the best of his ability, trade out this Maggie for him if the Pathfinder is going to kill him.
Pathfinder on you, 1 HP.
I got one.
Bind you,
Kill him.
1
You
HP.
kill him.
No, he's 100 ping. Bad up and res.
And so going for the immediate couple of reses, because, you know, we've already swift knocked the lifeline earlier, so we're going for the couple of reses now. I'm going to reset it.
He's signing. Halo.
I'm getting the swap.
I'm holding the store.
5%,
Holding the store. Just stabilize. We need to get together.
Yeah. I'm helping.
No
Rose, I'm
knocks. No
helping Rose.
knocks.
He's on me. He's dead.
Dead. I'm batting.
And so something you may have not noticed, but in the top right, during some of this fight in the kill feed, the team on the roof, on the right roof, like the big zipline building and the command side, they were fighting. So now this has left 2 teams alive. So by Deeds' team taking this really, you know, 3v3, if you will, off the damage that they had, they are expecting that the 2 teams up there are going to fight because of the res, because of how it's all going. They look for opportunity here to do this very quickly. It's a little messy, but it works out. They are lucky that the team on roof didn't necessarily pay any attention to them whatsoever, because if the team on the roof had done that, there might have been a bigger issue. But hey, we're here.
Good shit, guys.
Last team.
Okay.
Zipping night, shoot it.
Yeah.
Non-zip, non-energized.
One dead.
Resonating it. Yeah, I'm climbing up.
Challenge it.
Nice. Come on, baby. Locked in. Bro, they had, like, I think double havoc on the house. I swear to God, that was fucking miserable.
Yeah, you got fried.
And so the big thing there is that's team over there that tried to third the fight on Deeds in them. They're on a non-energized zipline. Their Pathfinder has picked the wrong perk at that point. The Pathfinder should be purple, and he's picking the wrong perk. He's being very selfish with his kit. The other thing is that if you notice when they were coming over, they essentially only had a bit of HP. They had armor pretty much full, but they were ziplining to low ground, non-energized, with low HP. So if that team had stayed on height longer, they had reset, and then worked out the situation, they might have been in a better situation to actually win that game. But they rushed it, they didn't have the right things in their kit, and that's why Deeds and his team ends up getting #1 pred right there. But hey guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you check out my few other videos here that are based on guides upon characters and mechanics and getting good at the game. And you can check out my coaching on Medify in the description below to see how you can get #1 pred next. Only kidding. Only not. Who knows? See you in the next one.